The movie begins with a little girl named Eve, who is injured and sitting in a police station. She's holding a ballerina toy and thinking about her family. The scene then shifts into a flashback. We see Eve on an island with her father. They were hiding from a cult group. It turns out Eve's entire family was once part of that cult. Her father had escaped with his family to save them, but during that escape, cult members killed his wife and elder daughter. The danger still wasn't over. The cult was hunting them down, accusing them of betrayal, and wanted to kill them too. One day, while they were inside a large villa, the cult launched an attack. They first killed the guards outside, then entered the house. Eve's father was mentally prepared for this. He immediately started fighting back and killing the intruders. We find out he used to be a professional assassin. As he fought, he released smoke in the corridors, making it harder for the cult to see. He took Eve and hid her in a room. Soon, more cult members arrived, including their leader, known as the Chancellor. Eve's father kept fighting and killing them one by one, but they were too many. Eventually, they captured him. The Chancellor approached and said, "You married one of our own, then betrayed us. Your wife and elder daughter are already dead. If you want Eve to live, kill yourself. Otherwise, I'll kill you both." Eve's father loved her deeply. He was about to take his own life, but Eve, who was hiding, suddenly ran out and stopped him. Hearing her voice, he threw away the gun and started fighting again. The Chancellor quietly slipped away during the chaos. One cult member pushed Eve's father to the ground and was about to stab him, but Eve shot the attacker and saved her dad. She then helped him escape the villa. As they ran out, a huge explosion happened. Eve's father had planted bombs inside the villa beforehand. The blast killed all the cult members. The Chancellor, who was fleeing the scene, assumed Eve and her father died in the explosion, so he left the island. Eve's father was severely injured. Sitting by the sea, Eve waited for help. Her father apologized to her and died right there. Time passed. Police arrived and found Eve. They took her to the police station, the same scene we saw at the beginning. A man arrived, claiming to be Eve's uncle. He said her father was a good man who wanted a better life for her, and now it was his duty to fulfill that wish. He took Eve with him and brought her to a theater. There, a teacher was training young girls in ballet. Shortly after, Eve was introduced to the director of the place. The director asked the man, "Does Eve know everything about her parents?" He shook his head. Then the director told Eve that her father grew up in this very place and she might enjoy living here too. Eve agreed. Before leaving, the man gave her a coin and said, "If you ever need me, I'll always be there." Later, Eve met the teacher, who explained that they offer 2 types of training, ballet and combat. Holding the coin, she told Eve, "Every coin has 2 sides. You must learn how to fight and how to survive." Eve liked the idea and agreed to train in both. 12 years passed. Eve had become a strong ballerina. Her training was so intense that her feet bled, but she kept dancing. Her teacher told her to go bandage her feet. While bandaging, her friend told her to take a break. But Eve replied, "I want to become the best ballerina just like you." Her friend responded, "You're already a great assassin. You should focus more on that training." Soon, we see Eve's assassin training. She fought with many boys and was also trained to use all kinds of guns. During one session, Eve kept losing. Her coach asked, "What are you doing today?" Eve replied, "They're all stronger than me." The coach said, "That's not why you're losing. You gave up before even trying. You don't believe in yourself." These words lit a fire in Eve. She started believing in herself and began defeating boys much stronger than her. 2 more months passed. Eve found out her best friend had been sent away. She asked the director, who told her, "Those who don't make good assassins are sent to ballet training. She wasn't like you." Eve asked, "Then what happens to good assassins? Why aren't they given missions?" "I think I'm ready." The director said, "Fine, but first you have to pass a few tests." In the first test, Eve was made to sit across from another girl, who was also a trainee at Rosca Roma. But this girl had broken some rules, and now Eve was supposed to kill her. The bell rang, and both girls were told to prepare their guns. Eve finished first, but hesitated to shoot. The other girl quickly loaded her gun and was about to shoot, but Eve remembered the time she had saved her father by killing someone. She gathered her courage, shot the girl, and passed the test. Later, we meet John, one of the best assassins at Rosca Roma. Eve had heard about him and went to meet him. She said, "You're a great assassin. Please give me some tips." John looked at her and said, "You're already an assassin. I've seen it. But if you listen to me, run away from here." Eve asked, "Then why didn't you leave?" John didn't answer and walked away. Soon, Eve got her first mission, to save a girl from a gangster who was coming to a club to kill her. Eve was told not to kill anyone. She was given rubber bullets. This mission was her final test. If she succeeded, she would become a full assassin. Eve entered the bar and found the girl. Before she could speak to her, the gangster arrived. Eve warned him to leave the girl, or else. He ignored her and approached the girl. His men attacked Eve. She fought bravely and injured them with rubber bullets. After defeating them, she stopped the gangster, who was trying to drag the girl away. The gangster was more powerful than she expected. He overpowered her, but Eve fought back fiercely, wounded him with rubber bullets, and slammed him against a wall. She spared his life and escaped with the girl, successfully completing her mission and final test. Now, Eve was officially an assassin of Rosca-Roma. She even got the same tattoo on her body that her father had. The story shows Eve completing another mission, killing a man. She was shot during the fight but removed the bullet herself. She sent a photo of the dead man to her client and received a lot of money. As she walked out, it was shown that she had also fought and killed the man's guards earlier. While driving away, she got into a car accident. The man in the other car stepped out, and a new fight began. The man in front of Eve looked like a professional fighter. Their fight went on for quite a while, but eventually, Eve managed to kill him. Afterward, she noticed a symbol on his hand. It reminded her of the same mark that was on the hands of the people who had killed her father during her childhood. A flood of memories hit her, and a deep curiosity grew inside her. Who were these people? She cut off the man's hand and took it to the director. Showing her the hand, she asked, "Who is this?" The director looked at it and calmly asked, "What do you want, Eve?" Eve replied, "These are the same people who killed my dad. I want revenge." But the director warned her not to go after them. She told her they were part of a cult group, the Skult. Eve's mother had also been a part of it once. The director explained that an agreement existed between their group, Rosca-Roma, and the Skult. Neither side would attack the other's assassins. Eve left silently and went to a hotel where she found the same man who had brought her to Los Roma at the beginning of the movie. She asked him about the cult, but he warned her not to get involved, calling them extremely dangerous. Ignoring his warning, she handed him back a coin, a reminder of his promise to help her when she needed it. Understanding the seriousness of the situation, he agreed to help and made a call. Soon, he handed her the data of a man named Daniel, the son of the cult leader known as the Chancellor. Daniel was staying at the same hotel. Coincidentally, there was already a bounty of $400,000 on Daniel's head. Many assassins were hiding in the hotel to kill him, including a girl named Lena. Eve snuck into Daniel's room from the back. Daniel aimed a bow at her, but Eve quickly said she wasn't there to kill him. She only wanted to know the whereabouts of his father, the man responsible for her father's death. Daniel admitted his father was part of the cult, and he himself was trying to escape that world. Many people were after him, and all he wanted was to live peacefully with his daughter. As they were talking, attackers burst into the room. Eve and Daniel fought side by side. During the chaos, Daniel begged Eve to save his daughter. As she was helping him, more guards appeared. Eve fought them off one by one. Meanwhile, Daniel was shot. Someone hit Eve from behind, and she fainted. She was captured, and Daniel's daughter was taken to the cult leader. When Eve regained consciousness, she was surrounded by many others. They were all being punished by being forced to fight in the hotel. Eve protested, saying she wasn't there to hurt anyone, just to talk to Daniel. Hearing this, the others were killed, but Eve was let go. Later, Eve met a man known for illegally supplying weapons to assassins. She believed he knew something about the cult. While she was examining some weapons, they were attacked by cult members. Eve used a grenade to defend herself, blowing up the attackers. She and the weapon supplier survived. He revealed he also hated the Skult, but feared them. Seeing Eve's determination, he finally shared their location. Eve immediately headed toward the cult city. On the way, the director called her, warning that she was heading into dangerous territory, into direct conflict with the enemy of their group. But Eve ignored the warning. As soon as she entered the cult city, she realized something strange. Every person in the city seemed to be a cult member. She walked into a cafe and saw the same ballerina toy her father gave her in childhood. Just as she got lost in her memories, she noticed people around her quietly leaving. Suddenly, a man attacked her. Though he was stronger, she managed to get hold of a gun and shot him. Then, the hotel chef attacked her like a trained fighter. More people came at her one after another. Eve kept fighting them off and eventually escaped. A man observing the entire battle reported to the Chancellor that Eve was still alive. Now, Lena was sent to capture her. She knocked Eve unconscious and took her to the Chancellor. When Eve woke up, he asked, "Who are you? What do you want? Don't you know we have a pact with Rosca-Roma?" But Eve responded, "I'm not from Rosca-Roma. I'm a former member of your cult. My parents were once part of this." Hearing the names of her parents shocked the Chancellor. He thought Eve had died years ago. He assumed she came only to save Daniel's daughter. But now he understood that this was much bigger. Even Lena was shocked and asked, "Who is this girl and what names is she taking?" The Chancellor told her that Eve came for revenge and that she was Lena's sister. Once a member of the cult, Lena was left in disbelief. Just as they were talking, Eve escaped, killing several guards along the way, and ran into another house. Lena followed and stopped her. Eve pointed a gun at her, but Lena said, "I'm your elder sister." Eve replied, "How could I shoot you? Dad and I thought you died years ago." Lena said, "No, they only killed my mother. I survived." Before they could talk further, cult members outside asked the Chancellor if they should kill the sisters. He agreed, and a deadly bombing was carried out on the house. Lena was severely wounded and near death. As Eve came closer, Lena told her to avenge their parents. Eve was also injured, but Lena's words gave her new strength. She picked up a sword nearby and stepped outside, ready to fight. She attacked all the assassins coming at her, killing some with slashes, others with stabs, while crying in pain and rage. The Chancellor, now terrified, called the director and warned her. If they wanted to keep their peace agreement, they had to get Eve out of there before midnight. Understanding the seriousness of the threat, the director gave a contract to John, Rosca-Roma's best assassin, to kill Eve. John soon arrived, and the Chancellor made a public announcement in the city that 2 assassins had infiltrated them. "Kill the girl if seen, but do not harm the boy," he said. When John met Eve, he offered her a chance. "Leave before midnight. If you stay, I'll have no choice but to kill you." Knowing everyone was watching, John pretended to fight her, whispering repeatedly, "Leave. Save yourself." But Eve refused. "I won't go without avenging my dad. The Chancellor got him killed, and I will kill him to end this war." John checked his watch. 28 minutes to midnight. "Fine," he said. "You have 28 minutes. If you finish this by then, I'll let you go. If not, I'll be forced to kill you." Eve silently slipped away through a back route. She attacked the Chancellor's guards, taping their mouths shut, knocking some unconscious, shooting others. Soon the Chancellor found out John had betrayed him by letting Eve go. He made another announcement. Now both the girl and the boy were to be killed on sight. Eve kept fighting her way forward. She reached a storage area filled with weapons and grabbed a flamethrower. Now her battle became easier as she burned her enemies down. But then she came face to face with another enemy who also had a flamethrower. Before he could burn her, Eve broke into a nearby building, smashing through glass, and used a fire hose to blast him away, putting out his flames. But the hose soon lost pressure. Eve collapsed. The man moved in to kill her, but John arrived just in time and shot the flamethrower in his hands, causing it to explode. The man died, and Eve survived. She knew John saved her and gave him a silent nod of thanks. Realizing he couldn't escape, the Chancellor tried to flee with his granddaughter. But before he could drive out of the city, Eve stopped the car and shot the driver. She ordered the Chancellor to get out. He stepped out and she told him, "I've killed all your men. I didn't want to kill anyone else but you." John watched the time, just 2 minutes left until midnight. He was about to take action when Eve finally shot the Chancellor, ending everything. Midnight struck. The director called John. "Did you kill Eve?" John replied, "I didn't need to. The war is over. Eve killed the Chancellor herself." Eve left the city with Daniel's daughter. Sometime later, we see her keeping her promise. Daniel was still alive, and Eve returned his daughter to him. She had saved her and fulfilled her vow. Later, we see Eve sitting in a ballerina hall, watching her childhood friend perform. But then, all the assassins in the room receive a message. A huge bounty has been placed on Eve. She receives the same message too. Silently, she gets up and walks away, and the movie ends with the mystery. Will Eve survive?